I saw the murder around 11 p.m. Now, after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. But there, I saw tracks. Tracks indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to the Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She could drive a snowmobile after all.
Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time.
Well, I'm not in the best of shape. Well, with my back and my age, you know.
Quiet. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph. A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. The tracks begin in front of Hazkurt Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. That solves your pescators problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please.
I saw the murder around 11 p.m.
You are sure about the time?
Yes, I was worried about it after all.
Why was that?
Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night now, could I? So at 11, I decided to leave Hazkurt Temple.
Your estimation of the time seems reliable, at least. Please continue, sister.
And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate.
You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct?
Right, the one who trampled me.
Seems she is the type to hold a grudge.
There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge.
Phoenix Wright? He didn't even have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home, apparently. What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand too.
Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back, so I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell. And there, I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used.
As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited.
That's it. That's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much snow falls.
Now, you assume the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived?
Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate.
So, she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time? I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? It looks very likely that snowmobile is related to this case. I can't help but think that Iris used it. But for what? I better hold off on this, for now. Well then, witness, how long does it take to reach the bridge by snowmobile?
It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those.
In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking.
Ah, there's a reason for that. Have you got a moment for me to explain?
I think that's why the question was asked in the first place.
It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I'd fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch.
Crunch.
I haven't been able to find the courage to write anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out.
Refresh our memory, how long were you knocked out for?
Like I said, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes.
It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile? I have to concede that is more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth?
Iris could have done that. She could drive a snowmobile after all.
While it would have been possible time-wise, one element remains out of place here. Oh, and what would this mystery element be?
The killer's reasoning, Your Honor.
Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods? Too many unanswered questions. Your response, Miss Von Karma? Turn to me for help over this thing. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor? What? She's as over as a top as always. Anyway, whatever reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river, and as a point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there is truly a problem with this testimony. Now all I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. Once again, it's quite simple. You say that the murderer went into Eagle River and came back, but this photo contradicts it, I'm afraid. I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge and those from coming back. But... you're right! You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. But... on the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just a return trace in the snow. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks. It's flawless. No. The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain? Why is there a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction? No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow, or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by the snow. Simple. Very simple. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. Order! Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is the weather report ever correct? No, you've got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast, this is actual data. Forecast, data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. It's true. We can't be totally sure, eh? What? How did she pull that off? It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it already stopped snowing when the victim was killed, eh? Right there. Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception, and that is the victim herself, Miss Elise Denham. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It has stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be two sets of tracks. Ah! Order! Order! Just what are you? Ah! Just what are you suggesting, Master Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all of the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazkura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. And when this person returned to Hazkura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained.
Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me.
What does, sister?
There's only one key for the snowmobile.
Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder.
Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple.
But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance.
The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hazkura side of the bridge and crossed on foot.
That sounds right.
But what's odd is, when I left Iris and returned to the Hazkura temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge.
You must have just failed to see it, sister.
Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazkura temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too.
But that is impossible! Order, order, order in the court! What does this all mean? So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be two sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazkura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness.
Yes, I have nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know.
But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile.
A witness, huh?
Was there no one out, walking perhaps, near Dusky Bridge on that night?
I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do.
That's a shame.
Hold on. Something is coming to me. Svari! An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night. Your Honor, actually there just might be one individual who may be of help to us.
Really?
You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if you saw it or not, but there are two things about him that do come to mind.
Which are?
First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder.
And the second being, this individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? It's you, Your Honor. This guy must be a product of John Locke, the Locke guide to obnoxious French painting. This is Lottie Butts, a disciple of the victim, Elise Dunham. Her student? Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even caught him. He is, after all, an artist. He was, perhaps, searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him, although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. But I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry, you may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Ms. Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. To be continued.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not really sure what to say.
Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene.
Alright, I'll help you in any way I can.
First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying.
But, Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple.
Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night, were you the one who used the snowmobile?
But there is only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me.
So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge?
But I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth.
But Iris?
I can't tell you about it yet.
Yet?
Not until her safety is confirmed.
Her?
The safety of the acolyte.
The acolyte, huh? You must be talking about Maya. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Dunham?
But no matter who or what may come, I could never take a life.
As I thought, no psychologs. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. Court will now reconvene. Ms. Von Karma, where is the witness? Tongues of Beck command was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something very intensely. Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? He drew a terrifying woman armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip. But I can only presume that his intention was to capture. Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Loris Dunham, I hope you're ready. Get in here. It would seem that that whip is going to see plenty more use today. Ouch! Your sketch is in contempt of this court.
Hey! Out!
You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct?
Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist, training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use a technical term for the color, viridian.
Larry, this is an art store now, is it?
I know! Grade junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the field, isn't it?
Working in the fields? I presume you wanted to say field work, I hope.
That's it! Thanks, buddy!
It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence.
I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I've got nothing to do with this trial at all. I expect all of your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Bright red. Or, to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Ow, ouch! Ow, 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 ow!
Ew, ew! Stop your pathetic blabbing and testify like a man. Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify, now!
Well, this is too much for me. I was at that lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see his snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either.
The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now.
Aren't I itchy?
Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony.
I'm just a nobody. I'm a small worthless man, aren't I? Why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation? Or anything else?
Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He has recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people.
Yeah, that's right! I'm behind everything, every case! Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you entirely unhappy.
Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching, thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time.
I was at that lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night.
But whatever is the matter, Miss Edgeworth? This one single statement is so full of contradictions. For a moment there, I thought it was going to collapse. Solidness, an idea as to where these contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may stay my VIP.
Okay, give me a minute. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't possibly have seen the stars. That rundown shack is hardly ever a lodge, is it? And even if the stars could be seen, it isn't like I was there to look at them, right?
See, you can do it if you try.
Ah!
There's only one issue here. What you saw at Dusky Bridge.
I walked to the bridge a number of times, but...
A number of times? How many?
Maybe 5 times. I went once every 20 minutes.
Which means you were spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hall that night.
You bet! Real love is about waiting with your heart in your hands.
Love, you say? Love, eh? It was this man's intention to summon the defendant to the small shack, using this blackmail letter. But blackmail?
No, that was simply product of overflowing.
You huffy-puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whining fuss of a witness. So, what do you see? I hope for your sake you saw a snowmobile. You huffy-puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whining fuss of a witness, eh?
Well, you see...
Being called those names doesn't seem to bother him at all.
I didn't see a snowmobile.
Larry, you really didn't see it.
Hey! No, they did your desk! I can hear you! I didn't see it! I didn't see a snowmobile!
Larry, say snowmobile for me, please.
Snowmobile?
If you truly have nothing to hide, then why are you stammering like you just flew over a cuckoo's nest?
Shut up! What is this? I don't know! Don't ask me!
Seems that I'll need to start from a more obvious contradiction. I'm going to strike the blow that will finally get him to spill the beans, as they say.
I didn't see anyone at that bridge that night either.
You didn't meet anyone?
That's right, because I've got nothing to do with this. I'm just here to buy some Viridian paint, okay? Come on, I expect to see those crimson-like faces! Now!
It would appear that simply pressing him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth. Indeed. It seems that he's going to claim to have nothing to do with this to the end. I don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his obvious contradictions and keep things moving along. Alright. You didn't see anyone there? Are you sure? Not even this person? Larry Butts, I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic, and you cause all sorts of trouble.
I'm sorry.
But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction.
Edgy, are you trying to console me?
It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create.
What? You're totally putting this on me.
Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Since the Bikini, after seeing the murder took place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by that bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts.
That's right, me, in the flesh.
Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change.
But what do you want me to do then?
Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night, testifying truthfully about this one issue, is all I need from you.
Edgy, I think
I've finally woken up. Well, I guess could still be sleeping.
But anyway,
I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well.
I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? Tell us, eh?
I went to the shack around 9, so it would have been around 10:30 p.m.
I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the
window, and Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick.
You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire?
It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burned out, like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall.
What did you say? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. I never know with that man if he should be called lucky or unlucky. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination.
I went to the shack around 9, so it would have been around 10:30 p.m.
What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half?
Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess.
Excited? Dare I even ask?
I said the meeting time was 10 p.m., right? But I couldn't wait. I thought she might come early, too.
Well, it appears you didn't come at all in the end. Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they?
Shut up! Don't go making my brains apart!
Anyway, I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way. So every 20 minutes or so, I went out to the bridge. But I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her.
I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me.
This light was, of course...
lightning! Like, kapow! Like a slap from Naomi, honestly! A big bada boom!
A little like that?
Well, that's more like a punch from Miranda!
Ernest, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge?
Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of light, so... I looked out the window, and Dusky Bridge was on fire!
Seeing that, what did you do?
What do you think? I was burning up as well, from a fire in my heart.
And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge?
Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at first I thought, forget it, I'm not leaving my covers. But it pretty much stopped snowing, so I don't know, I changed my mind.
I'm not sure I care for the forget it attitude you had at first, witness.
There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out.
You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that?
Lightning fell, and then the bridge caught on fire. Maybe around 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out.
How far is this small shack you were in from the bridge?
Hold on, well, it pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk.
How did Dusky Bridge look when you got there?
Well, I had recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare.
Well, should I press him for a little more info? Yeah, if there was 5 minutes, why didn't you call anyone? Larry, let me ask you one thing.
What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face?
Why didn't you call anyone?
Huh? What do you mean?
Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try to tell someone. There's a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct?
Well, of course I thought of doing that.
So then, let's hear why you didn't.
Yeah, okay. A reason. My reason? It isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone. I just didn't have time to, okay? I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later.
You claim to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as Wright.
Yeah. I thought I'd better tell someone about this, but then Nick came up yelling about murder. It totally made me forget about the bridge. The fire was pretty much out by then anyway.
What's this feeling? I suddenly have a terrible case of unease. It was after contacting the police that Phoenix Wright fell from the bridge, correct?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, more or less.
You told me about the burning bridge yesterday, but there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling us the whole truth. You say you saw Nick at the same time you showed up, but that, I'm afraid, is impossible. Your very existence being a contradiction, I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not.
What the hey, Richie? You make me sound like some sort of alien.
But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time.
I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on a new bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those.
This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what had happened. Is this correct?
Yeah, well, I waited about 5 minutes first, but more or less.
I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there at around 11 p.m.
That all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act.
That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazard Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There's no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time.
Excuse me, I have an objection.
You do?
Hey, how many times have I said this? I'm not Larry, I'm Larry's dad.
It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said around 11, in which case it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francesca Von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery, for there is still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m. And why not? It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m. Which means, what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m. but Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you to stop hiding things and just tell us the truth. The whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 50 minutes?
I feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet splash bag.
I guess I was still sleeping after all. Ah! Pinch me!
Order! Ah! So there was, so there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix, right? I hardly see that as much of a problem.
Yeah, not much of a problem.
Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes and there's a phone right next to it. Why then did you not report the accident?
Yes, witness, why you?
Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, you were still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty.
That's what it sounds like.
But this is Larry we are talking about, and even he is incapable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction.
Edgy. I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude.
Just as I thought, you've been playing with us all this time.
Listen,
I'm gonna tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all?
Yes.
I mean, really say it this time. Everything.
Then say it. Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this. However, let's have the witness family give us the whole truth, eh? Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness?